What's up, baby? This is Deontay the Bronze Rumble Wilder. Make sure you tap into Black Authentic Truth for your latest news. It's great information, baby. Bomb Squad!
It looks like they're in a mall setting, and you have this little white boy that is writing on a wall that looks like it's a wall that's made out of carpet or something like that, where you can, with carpet, certain kind of carpet, you move through it and you can actually, it changes color. So he's writing the N word with the hard ER, and he's confronted by a lady asking him why would he do that. And then he says that I can, take it off if you want me to, and he takes it off. So let me play it again.
I think that's appropriate to write on the wall. And why would you do it?
She said, do you think it's appropriate to write on the wall? And I guess he said, I can't really hear. He says, I guess he said no. She says, well, why would you do it? If you can see on the picture right here, it's the N word with the hard ER that he wrote. And he looks like he's of age, and his voice sounds like he's of age, at least about 11, 12 years old, okay?
I can erase it. Erase it. Have some respect.
And he says, I can erase it. And she said, yeah, erase it. Have some respect. Now, the woman doesn't sound like she's a Black woman. And I would go as far as to say, is this particular place looks like it's a mall in the background. It looks like you can see escalators and other people in there. I will go as far as to say that this is possibly some mall in some place, city, state, where there are not a lot of Black people, and many people will come to the defense and says, well, he's just a kid. He's just a kid. And, you can't just blame him. This is what he learned in the household. And to a certain extent, I might agree with that. You know what I mean? But what you got to understand is that these children, they know what they're doing, and they feel how they feel. Now, will you say, okay, he's seen that somewhere? I would say yes. I think he has seen it somewhere, but also I would say, like, at his age, right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly, and when with us as Black people, particularly, I'm gonna just speak for myself right here. Me knowing who I am as a Black person, and knowing that we are God's chosen people, and then knowing that the history of how these people have been. There are pictures with children just like him looking up at our ancestors hanging from trees. Yeah, there are pictures with children his age, just like him, smiling while taking a photo next to adults of a Black man hanging from a tree. Sometimes y'all got to realize that these things are in them. It's in them. It's not on them. It's in them. Sometimes you got to just concede and say, this is evil, instead of trying to make excuses for a child. Like, they don't make excuses for Black children that do something that an adult would do. They treat them like an adult. They charge them as an adult. They demonize them as though they are an adult. Now, am I saying that I'm, demonizing him? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but you have to understand that we can't just always put this stuff on the fact that they grew up in a household where this is happening. What if he didn't grow up in a household where his parents use that word towards Black people? Then what you gonna say? The first time I got called that name, I was 5, and a 5-year-old white girl said it. Didn't even know what the word meant, but Acts 13:1. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this video out just to show you that, however you want to look at it, the racism that you see today is embedded. It is embedded. It is in the genes. It ain't just, oh, that's what they're learning at home. Now, I don't necessarily buy that. I understand kids look at their parents as superheroes and they want to emulate their parents, but racial hatred is that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level. Racial hatred is a whole nother level. And when I think about growing up, you know, how we grew up, I do not remember. Okay, I do not remember us being or even caring at that age about calling white people any type of derogatory name. Like the word, like what's the H word honky? That don't even seem, that's to me, that's not an equivalent. That's not an equivalent because it's just not to me. You know what I'm saying? But I've never seen black kid, I never saw it growing up, or we never thought it. It wasn't, you know, something that we, you know, wanted to put on the wall. Like these white kids are crackers, or these white kids is hunkies. Like we don't, I don't ever recall that. You know what I mean? Don't ever recall that. I don't remember us, you know, even caring that much about something like that as children, as let's just say from the ages between about 10 and 12 years old. I don't remember us, you know, that's just not a conversation. Like if you want to say people learn it from their parents, that's not a conversation in the black community, in the household, to where kids pick it up and they're racist towards white people. And they write racist graffiti towards white people. That's not a thing. That's a white people thing. Racist graffiti. Always has been.